Hey vinyl community, hey new wavers, it's Shad with Vinyl New Wave. Today's video is some recent vinyl finds. And by recent I say the last 3 months or so. The first record is a VCLT. The next big chunk are stuff that have actually kind of come in over the last I mean, some of them I think I've had for 3 or 4 months. I just haven't had a chance to show them yet. And then the bottom half are some things that I picked up just this last week. So let's get started. First off with this VCLT. This was from Wes, SupraWes in Florida. His channel is SupraWes. He had done some videos on the deep discount bargain bin. And I had gone in and started buying things and adding things to my cart, and I had added this one to my cart out of the bargain bin, and it disappeared out of my cart. The price went up because someone had bought it out of the bargain bin, and then I saw that Wes had bought it in his video, and I just kind of jokingly said, well, you're the one that bought it out from underneath me, and he graciously offered to send it to me. So thank you, Wes. If you haven't checked out Wes's channel, the link is in the description. He's got a lot of really, he shows a lot of really cool, varied stuff, and stuff that he doesn't even know he had, which I think is kind of funny. He's been going through a bunch of boxes out of storage. So, yeah, check out Wes. It was a great channel, and thank you, Wes, for this record. It's awesome. I love it. All right. Next up. Sometimes you go into the record store and start thumbing through stuff and you're not expecting to find anything, and then you find one of your all-time favorite records, still sealed from the late 80s. Information Society, their self-titled debut album. Information Society, this is the one that has What's on Your Mind, Pure Energy, cover of Lay All Your Love on Me, and Running, amongst others. This is a really great synth pop album, really great debut. This you can see in on the sticker here, it says 1980s original warehouse stock. So my local record store, Randy's, had that in a warehouse somewhere, and it was never been opened. So, and I haven't had a chance to open it yet. But I was glad to pick that one up because that's another one that I've had on CD forever, have all the 12-inch singles, but just never got the album on vinyl, so I was glad to see that. Next up is a few that I picked up here and there. As I'll duck into a record store every once in a while and pick something up if I see something. This one is I believe, Canadian band, the Payolas. No Stranger to Danger. This album has Eyes of a Stranger on it, which is kind of the big one hit from the Payolas. So that was kind of a cool find. This next one is the 12-inch single for Kajagoogoo's Too Shy, the Midnight Mix. Yeah, I love Kajagoogoo. They're kind of a fun little band. Lamal, of course, went off on his own and started doing his own stuff and did the Never Ending Story. But yeah, that's the 12-inch single for Too Shy. And next up is Baltimora's Tarzan Boy. I've had the 7-inch for this for quite a while, but I could never find the 12-inch in good condition. And lo and behold, here's some Italian Italio Disco, Tarzan Boy, Baltimora. Really great 80s dance tune that a lot of people, that one will pack the dance floor just about every time. All right, next up is a couple reissues that I picked up. First one is the Cult's Sonic Temple. This reissue came out a couple weeks ago, and I don't have the original on vinyl. So I was glad to see a reissue come out that was, because I don't think I've ever seen this one in the used bin anywhere. So I was glad to finally have it come out on a reissue. It sounds pretty good. And then it's also an extended edition, so it's got a second disc with some live stuff and a couple of the remixes from the 12 inches. So really excited to have the Cult Sonic Temple. And remember the Cult rule: when the Cult comes on, the volume goes to 11. All right, up next is Lenny Kravitz's Let Love Rule reissue. I keep my eye out for Lenny Kravitz reissues, and when they're on sale, I pick them up. I think I've mentioned in one of my last videos, local store was having a 20% off sale, and I picked this one up in that sale. And it, not only is it the reissue, but it is the limited edition reissue that comes on this really cool brown and yellow split vinyl. So I was really really stoked to pick that one up on vinyl as well. Now the next one, the next group of, I think there's 10 of them, I picked up from the classifieds, the Facebook classifieds. I have kind of a saved, you know, Facebook knows me and sends me ads of people posting things for sale that I might want. And I saw an ad that had, this guy had New Wave Records. And so I went and I kind of flipped through it, and he had a lot of stuff that I already had, but he had a lot of stuff that I didn't have. And he was asking a reasonable price. I mean, he was saying like $5 a record, but then if you bought 6 or more, then it was $3 a record. So it was really a, you know, reasonable price. So I sent a message to him. I said, hey, do you still have those? And he replied back, because the ad was a week or two old. He said, yeah, I've got most of them. There's 2 of them, I think, that are gone. I said, okay, well, I'll come and thumb through them. So I went down to his house, and immediately connected with the guy, and then we sat and talked for way too long. But I picked up a number of 12-inch singles and a couple albums. So the first one is Howard Jones, the Like to Get to Know You Well 12-inch single. I haven't gone through... Anyways, yeah, Like to Get to Know You Well, but Bounce Right Back. Love Howard Jones. I was excited to see he's actually going to be doing this winter again, going to be doing a residency up in Park City for 2 weeks. So I will probably go up and see him because it'll be cool. The next one is from Pseudo Echo. It's another single off their album, and this is called A Beat for You. Still in the shrink, but the shrink's kind of beat up. I'll probably just get rid of the shrink and cut out the hype sticker. But there's some remixes of A Beat for You. Next is the 12-inch single for Eurythmics, Who's That Girl? Includes a remix of Who's That Girl? It doesn't say on the back that it's a remix, but if I remember correctly, maybe not. Maybe that's just the regular album version. But yeah, Who's That Girl from the Eurythmics on 12-inch. And next is the 12-inch single for the Pet Shop Boys, It's a Sin. I thought I had this one and I was going to walk out with it, but then I decided I should probably look at my Discogs and make sure, and sure enough, I do not have this one. So I grabbed that one. And these are all, by the way, these are all in really, really pretty good shape. The covers are, there's not a whole lot of wear on the covers. And I pulled and looked at a few of the records, but after 2 or 3, and because that were in good condition, and because the sleeves were in pretty good condition, I felt comfortable just buying them all from him. The next one is Love Comes Quickly, import 12-inch from the Pet Shop Boys. It's got the dance mix on it, as well as the dance mix of That's My Impression on the back side. So actually I already have the US version of this, but I decided I'll get the import too. This one was actually one of the ones that really piqued my interest when I first saw the ad, and that is the Smiths Ask. I actually already do have this one, but I decided that I should grab it anyway because this will make some really good VCLT for somebody. I don't know who yet, but this will make good VCLT for somebody. Goes for 15 to 20 bucks online. So then the next one, I saw this and I had to get it because I do not have this song or this album. It is Tommy Two Tone 2. And the big hit off of here is 8675309, 8675309. Yeah, Jenny. Had to buy that one, right? And this next one is maybe a little bit of a blind buy for me. I actually don't remember this album or this group. It's Translator, No Time Like Now. This is going to be my blind buy for the month or year. I'm going to listen to this one and see how I like it, but should be okay, right? And then I had picked all those up, and he and I were just chatting, and he said that he had another ad on a different website, and I was like, "Oh, you got more that you're selling?" He said, "Yeah, but they're just like more rock and stuff." And I was like, "Well, let me see them. Maybe it might be something I want." And so he pulled them out, and lo and behold, there were two in that group that I wanted. The first one being Tubular Bells from Mike Oldfield. I've been fascinated with this record for a long time, and every time I see it, it's just beat up, and just not worth buying. But this one, like all the others, in really pretty good shape. So, and it looks like, yeah, it's a West Germany pressing. It's a European pressing of it, and it's in really good shape. So I was really kind of excited to finally pick up Tubular Bells from Mike Oldfield. I don't know if I've seen anybody in VC show this one before, probably just because I haven't been around that long. And finally, the last record I got from that guy is one that I've had on my list for a very, very long time. I used to have the CD. I might still have the CD. I don't remember. But it is A Very Special Christmas. From Christmas 1987. This is an amazing, amazing Christmas album, because it's a lot of the very popular artists from that time doing Christmas songs, and I just don't feel like they do that anymore. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, I mean, this is just, I mean, it's got the Eurythmics doing Winter Wonderland, Bruce Springsteen, Merry Christmas Baby, the Pretenders, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, John Cougar Mellencamp, Sting, Run DMC, Christmas in Hollis, U2's Christmas, Baby Please Come Home, Madonna doing Santa Baby, Bryan Adams doing Run Rudolph Run, Bon Jovi, and Stevie Nicks doing Silent Night, which I'm not a big fan of Stevie Nicks. But the big one on here that my wife actually really, really loves is Alison Moyet from Yaz doing the Coventry Carol. It's an amazing, amazing version of the Coventry Carol. So I'm just really happy to have this one on vinyl finally. It's still in the shrink wrap, has the hype sticker on it, still has the original inner sleeve. The record itself is a bit dusty, looks like it's sat on a record player, you know, until August or something when somebody finally took it off. But so it needs a good cleaning. But other than that, it's in really great shape. So finally, I found a new record store about an hour away from me. I had gone down that way for another hobby of mine, which is trains. There's a steam locomotive that was coming through town, and they were stopped down there for the day. So I went down there to see the steam locomotive, and I thought, well, while I'm down here, I think there's a record store down here. And so I did a Google search, and the record store that I thought it was, the record store that I was thinking of was, I don't know, either not in business anymore or not really what I was thinking it was. But it was like a pawn shop with had records or something. But there was another record store. And so I went over and checked it out. And it looks like they've only been open since the first of the year, or maybe this time last year. They haven't been open too long. They had a ton of, 85% of the store was new stock, right? It was all new stuff, which is fine. There's a lot of great reissues, a lot of great new music that's coming out, and it's great to have that available on vinyl. But for the most part, I'm looking for used stuff that's reasonably priced. I hesitate to. I really don't like paying more than $5 for a record. It's unheard of for me. Well, not unheard of. It's not common for me. I'll buy. As you know, I've talked about it on my videos. I try to buy like all my reissues when they're on sale. I try to buy, ones with damaged packaging maybe or whatever. So I try not to spend a ton because my money is limited, right? So I was flipping through the bins, and I was flipping through the used section, and honestly, they had a ton of amazing stuff there. Usually, like, the new wave stuff is like a small little section this big, and I flip through it in 5 minutes and I'm walking out the door, because it's all stuff that either I already have or I don't want. But I mean, they had a ton of stuff. They had most of the U2 albums. They had most of the Susie and the Banshees albums. They had a ton of stuff from The Cure. They had a lot of the Joy Division. They just had a lot of stuff. But the problem is, it wasn't priced to sell. A lot of, and I find this at a lot of record stores. Like, if it's a big name band, if it's the Smiths, right? It's marked up to like these crazy numbers, and I'm okay. I understand that records have value and some records are worth more. But this shop, they had like 3 copies of Susie and the Banshees Peep Show, used from back in the 80s. And any other record store here in the area, those would have been gone, because they're usually priced appropriately. They're usually priced between $15 to $20. But these guys had them all priced at $30 each. And that's obvious because they're still on the shelf that they're overpriced. So I was kind of getting a little discouraged because, man, everything I saw that I was like, oh, I need that in my collection. I want that, or, who here's that Tears for Fears record? And I'm like, oh, whoa, that's really high. And I'm not one to, I'll be honest, I'll pull it up on, if it looks high to me, I'll pull it up on Discogs to verify. I'm all for supporting the local guy. I spend a lot of money at the local stores. And I'm okay if, Discogs, the average is $15 and you're charging $17, $18. I'll pay that $17, $18 because I don't have to pay shipping. And I can have it right now, right? There's that whole, it's in my hand. I have a huge want list on on Discogs, but I don't buy stuff because there's something to be said about flipping through a record, finding it and going, and then going and buying it, right? Whereas Discogs, I can go to any record on my want list and just click on, for sale, and on 98% of them, it's already for sale, right? It's for sale. I can buy it today for a reasonable price. So what am I getting at here? I'm okay paying a little bit of a premium over a Discogs or online price, but not double, right? So anyways, I was flipping through, and it was just kind of weird because the stuff of the bigger name bands like Joy Division and Susie and the Banshees and The Cure and stuff, it was all like overpriced. They had like 5 copies of The Cure The Top, right? I mean, nobody should have, The Top isn't their best album, but if it's priced appropriately, it won't sit on the shelf because it's The Cure. But anyways, I was flipping through and I came across this record. This is The Creatures, Boomerang. Now, any self-respecting Susie and the Banshees fan knows that that's Susie Sue and that's Budgie. But these guys obviously did not, and I don't know how they're pricing stuff, because this was priced at $16 and on Discogs is going for like 25 to 30. So I don't know how they come up with their pricing. I think it's just, these are the big bands I know, so obviously they've got to be worth more, and they price them like that. I don't know. But I got this copy of The Creatures Boomerang for $16. There's some stickers and tape on the cover, and the record needs a good cleaning. It's not in perfect shape. There's some kind of like scuffing, or like somebody handled it improperly or something, but for $16 for something that's worth a lot more and is a gap in my collection, I'll pay $16. So I bought it. And that is the end of my rant for today. Sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent there, but that's just one thing that really frustrates me is, like, I get it, you're a local store, you've got your bills to pay, but don't charge double what the going price is out in the world. You could get away from that. You could get away with that maybe back in the days of, before the internet, because pricing was hard to find. Like, Gold Mine magazine was a pain in the butt to use. But nowadays, in the day of the internet, you got to price it appropriately. So anyways, that's my beef. There are several stores that I have that beef with. And they don't get a lot of my money. All right, sorry. I'm way digressing. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I showed probably way too many records. I think this video is probably way too long, but if you liked the video, thumbs up, please hit the thumbs up button. If you like the records, any of the records I showed in the video, please thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'm getting slowly close to that 100 mark. Thanks. Thanks for watching. And until next time, remember, you spin me around like a record, baby.